Hi, I'm Rebecca Cohen, and I am the founder of the healing system, The Path to Heal. I've been doing a few of these live broadcasts in the last couple of weeks, and it's been really fun, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback. When I do a live session like this, the intention is that anybody that is watching the session will receive the healing benefit. We all share common blocks. And in this case, we're going to be releasing our blocks to manifesting abundance in all areas of our life. So I will be doing a session that pertains to the masses. And we could be releasing blocks in our financial abundance, our love abundance, our health abundance, all areas of abundance. And the result is that we raise our manifestation vibration. So I'm going to start using my Path to Heal protocol, which I will show you right now. This protocol directs me, and I use it, and I muscle test through the protocol to see what I need to do to help the most amount of people possible to release these blocks. And all of these different graphics, they take me to a different piece of the path to heal. So I'm going to start, as I always do when I do a Path to Heal session, is creating a dream. Now, if we were working one-on-one and you were my client, the dream would be something that you, the client, would come up with. But because I'm working in a large group, I'm going to create the dream for the large group. And so we create our dream of abundance in all areas of life. And I'm going to use different tuning forks right now with different energetic movements that I do with the tuning forks to help open our portal of manifestation so that we just walk our dreams and naturally and magically manifest everything that aligns with our heart. If it aligns with our heart, it is good. It may sometimes cause disruption, but it is good. And what I have found from doing this for a long time is that people are very afraid of the disruption that comes from following our heart and really working to give ourselves what we know would fill us with joy and fill our bank account as well. Because when we're really aligned with what we want to do, it's very easy to sustain ourselves and plus with what it is that we're doing. But for very many reasons, we can get afraid to follow our heart because we feel it might be different than what we think we should be doing, or it might require us to move or make new friends or do something that's very different than the rules that our communities hold. And we're also really afraid that when we go against the rules that our communities hold and we make mistakes, then we'll really be mortified. So we don't like to break rules, and we specifically don't like to break rules that might lead to some kind of mistake or failure. But really, if we're following our heart, then the mistakes along the path just help us know ourselves better and better and better, and lead us to a deeper understanding of what will make us happy. And when we really do in the world of work what makes us happy, then abundance is the natural outcome. So mistakes illuminate our path to getting deeper and deeper in touch with ourselves. So I'm muscle testing, and you'll see me do this during the session, but I could also do this. This is a yes, this is a no, but I also go like that, and you'll see me doing this to help give me guidance and read the energy of what the most amount of, what are the common blocks to manifesting abundance. And everybody watching this, take a breath. I'm going into my book, Meditate with Your Angels, and this seems to have come up a lot in my live sessions that I've been doing. It's a very easy thing for me to share in a group setting like this. Okay, so this is what the book looks like, and it aligns with this card deck. The book can be used standalone, and it is available on Amazon, and it's very reasonably priced. And it's a really beautiful book to help connect you to your angels and give you meditation exercises. So the card that I picked, and I will post these cards when I'm done. The card that I picked is Kurubio. And this book has mostly biblical angels in it. I stand with you at the gates to a blissful life, helping you release the darkness whose teachings you no longer need. So it's time for the planet to choose love instead of darkness, and everybody on it. You are ready to shine your light. The gates are open. Walk in. So as we shine our light, then the road is just paved with us to do our work and become and accept the abundance that our beautiful heartfelt work is offering to us. So from Kurubio, I'm just looking him up in my guidebook. I'm going to read you a little bit more. I am the prince of the gates to heaven and everlasting open doors. And I always say that push on the doors that are opening rather than trying to jam your way through the shut doors. It's so much easier to follow that path through the open doors. I stand at the portal to all planes and dimensions. When you are ready to experience deeper and deeper awareness of love, I will help you expand into a multidimensional consciousness so that you can experience heaven on earth. My being expands into the depths of all existence. So that's from Kurubio. And now we're going to start with the meditation. And first, we're going to breathe in some lemon essential oil. So as you breathe in, or just as I breathe in the oil, and if you have lemon essential oil, breathe it in. And as you're breathing it in, what Kurubio is asking us to do is allow any fear that we may have to show itself in our mind's eye, in our meditative state, and ask to replace that fear with love. And the interesting thing is that when we are in a meditative state, we cannot hold on to dark images for long. If they come in and then we ask for them to be replaced with love, very quickly the dark images will dissipate. So anytime you have a fearful state, you can, we're calling in Kurubio, that is the energy that is presenting itself today, but any energetic connection that you have to that which is of love, you can ask to be shown a vision of the fearful state and ask to replace it with love. As your fears dissipate, your life will become fuller, richer, and more loving. And then Kurubio is opening the multidimensional portal at the speed that you are ready. So the faster that you are ready to follow that which gives you love and release those fears, the more clear the gates to success will be. And then when you see these open doors, if you just walk in, then your path will be very, very, very clear. So that is the first step of the session. And now I'm going to muscle test again to see what's next. I'm welcoming Marla and Brenda to the session. And I'm doing some sound medicine now. So I've been very blessed this year to have written 4 books with the second word in the title to be medicine: sound medicine, crystal medicine, plant medicine, and food love medicine. This piece of work I do with tuning forks, and I have a recording of the 30 tuning forks that I use in this book, so that you don't have to go out and buy $1,000 worth of tuning forks. You can just use the recording, and it is incredibly helpful. One of the things that I always do when I work with sound is I use a magnet, and I'm going to energetically give everybody this magnet and energetically place it on everybody that is as watching this video, so that whatever sound healing we come up with will the vibration will be much stronger because of the magnet. I also, usually I play the tuning forks from my computer, but I don't know if I can do that because I'm recording from my computer right now. So I have to, and just to note everyone, it's 11:11, which is a wonderful time to be doing a manifestation session. And I'm going to go on to the recordings from my phone, and hopefully everybody listening will be able to hear the tuning fork. And as I do with everything else, I'm going to muscle test through this book to see what I'm aligning everybody to. What I'm doing is clearing some heart blocks. So heart blocks are dense energetic complexes that form in the heart, impacting our ability to fully love life. So I'm going to muscle test to see the heart block that people have in common. This one is: the voices in my head drown out my heart. And actually, I have this tuning fork, so I'm just going to use it live rather than the one on my phone. And what we're doing here is planetary tuning. There's a relationship to the planets and us, as all astrologists know, and I'm not an astrologist, but I do know that these tuning forks that are aligned with the vibration of the planets can help bring that energy to us, to help that incredibly forceful energy of that magnificent body of planet to help us release blocks. And in this case, we're using the energy of Venus so that the voices in our head stop drowning out our heart. These are crystal planetary tuners, and they have a very beautiful high vibration. So there are also some sacred truths. As I bring in the path to heal, these truths were shared with us. And when we block one of these truths, then our body systems get blocked. And I'm just muscle testing to see which sacred truth we're blocking. And the sacred truth is, when I have no fear, no one in my presence can fear. So if you are a leader of any kind, a parent, a teacher, a friend, if somebody comes to you with fear, or if you have your own fear, with the help of this, if you can stay in the presence of love and feel love when that fear presents itself to you, you can't hold on to the fear. So I'm going to use my moon tuner to help us release fear. And I'm going to ask anyone listening right now to conjure up, again, an image of fear. And then I'm going to play this tuner, and the image should dissipate very quickly. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to ask anyone who is watching to conjure up an image of fear related to abundance. So not enough money or not enough work. And that fear shouldn't last very long, even if I don't do this, because in the loving state, we can't hold on to fear. But conjure it up for a second and watch the fear dissipate. And since I titled this healing session, well, raising our manifestation vibration, but also releasing blocks to creating abundance, since I titled it that way, that's specifically what I'm receiving. It's very specific ways to release our blocks to abundance. So you can find this moon tuner on my website under thepathtotheheal.com under sound or sound healing, and then you can do that exercise. You can allow yourself to conjure up the fear and then strike the moon tuner, press a button to play it, and the fear will gently dissipate. And if you hold a magnet while you're doing it, it will increase the power of the sound of that beautiful, high, loving sound vibration to rewrite our fear patterns. So next I'm using some Fibonacci tuners. These are tuners that work with the Fibonacci sequence. And I'll show you an example of what the Fibonacci sequence looks like. So this is a graphic diagram of the Fibonacci sequence. It is a form that is found all over nature. So it was discovered by Leonardo Fibonacci, who was an Italian 12th century mathematician. And so I'm going to be playing different tuners in this sequence to help us release things that are blocking us. So we're opening the recognition of that we are all mirrors of each other. So when we get angry at outside external circumstances, it's all just mirroring something internal. And that internal anger is just noise in our head to keep us from following our abundant path, because our abundant path in one way, shape, or form is scary for us. Maybe it causes us to be a leader. Things I talked about at the beginning of the session. Maybe it causes the opportunity for people to ridicule us. So in so many ways, we block ourselves. So I'm going to find my Fibonacci tuners here, and use the right ones in the right sequence. I decided not to use the recording because I didn't know if it was going to work while I was recording. So I'm going to take 2 tuners from the sequence. In this case, I just have them numbered. It's Fibonacci 8 and Fibonacci 2, and the vibration that goes with them and the harmonics that 2 tuners at the time allow us heals our recognition of the mirrors. Or let me say it differently. It allows us to see the recognition. It allows us to recognize the mirrors, and then it's so much easier to heal them. So when bad things are happening and we see it in other people, or things that we think are bad, and we recognize it, and then we can recognize that they're only manifestations of our own fears to complete success, and our own fears to fully and completely being in our power, and what could happen when we are in our power. So I'm going to play this one again. And as I said, this book, Sound Medicine, is incredibly helpful, especially since I have the recording out there for everybody, so that if you want to do some of this, you can remove some of these blocks. I have all sorts of things on my desk now making noise, but you can remove some of these blocks and use the energy of the tuners without buying all these tuners. And I hope it helps a lot of people. I hope a lot of people find this book. And so then the next one from the Fibonacci sequence is Promoting Bliss. And the first thing I have to do is to help everybody have faith, not fear. And the next thing I would like everyone who's watching this right now, focus on what you'd like to create. And I'm going to do a sequence specifically for manifestation. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to focus on what they want to create. And then this sequence of vibration helps break through our blocks into manifestation. Okay. So I have to go somewhere else in sound healing? Yes. Put these Fibonacci tuners away, this beautiful set of tuners. And I'm going to do some other sound healing techniques. So anyone who just joined, a magnet, which I'm energetically giving everyone who's watching this, will help break through these patterns that I'm breaking through with the sound healing. So I am doing things with my Earth planetary tuner. There is a body tuner that is at a very low vibration that I could do this with, where you actually place the tuner on your body. and it's an Earth Ohm tuner. But since you will not hear it over the recording, I'm using the Earth Planetary tuner, which is at a very high vibration, and that's going to help you today, just because you're listening to this rather than being right in my presence. If you were having a session with me in person, I would use the body tuner. But to help everybody release the blocks to manifestation, I'm going to first balance an emotional situation. I'm muscle testing through my list to see what I'm doing. So it's interesting, the thing that's coming up, and it's going to have a different meaning for everybody. But what I muscle tested here was that I mess up relationships. So we're going to help everybody who feels like they mess up relationships, release that feeling, and instead send love to self so that you can share yourself with others. And the next thing I'm doing, I'm clearing using the Earth Body Tuner is anger pushes people away. So whatever that means to anybody watching this, and somehow it's letting anger block our success. Or the fear. So I also know what this is. If we're really in our abundant flow, then we're connecting with people all the time, and we're making these connections, and we're allowing the connections to grow our businesses, grow our lives, grow our romance, whatever we want abundance in. And it is part of human nature to be afraid of these connections. Like if I let too many people in, then I might get hurt. And because of that, we can tend to push people away, and afraid that we'll get criticized, especially if we're walking our enlightened path in which we really are showing up for ourselves. And then it's really, really scary if we are to receive criticism. So we can tend to then stay small rather than go big. And we really, really need to go big if we want to have an abundant life. So this Earth Tuner, which is going to connect us to the vibration of the earth, is going to help us live our abundant life. And I happen to be using a very nice lapis tower to, tap my tuning forks on. And this lapis tower, to me, always feels like this pillar of strength. So when we open up and we live our truly abundant lives, at the same time, while of course we're all going to be afraid of one thing or another, but as we do it, we have an object, have something that helps, that feels like this pillar of strength to help us move forward with strength. And there is more sound healing today. I would like to thank my friend and path practitioner, Susan Mall, who really introduced me to the world of sound healing and sound medicine. I was always using some of it in the Path to Heal, but all these tuning forks she introduced me to. And I just want to thank her for both creating this book and creating the recording that anyone who uses this book has access to give themselves this same sound healing. So this is taking me to releasing the block, and it's an environmental hazard. And I'm using also for everybody's energy a Lemurian crystal, which is a crystal that's representative of the ancient world of Lemuria, and all of it's always a quartz in there, and I don't know if you can see it from here, but there are these lines running up and down this quartz, these horizontal lines that look like a barcode, and the barcode is said to contain messages of love and the vibration of love. And so this Lemurian crystal is going to help us release something that's getting in our way from our environment. So what this is going to do, if anybody has anything in their life, anyone or anything that acts as a shine blocker, stopping us from shining, that I'm going to use this. I'm using my Venus tuning fork to help release the shine blocker from our energy, so that the shine blocker doesn't have a place in our world. Sometimes it's a physical symptom, and sometimes we unconsciously call in the physical symptom so that we can release the shine, so that it acts as a shine blocker because we're so afraid of our shine. Sometimes it's another person. Sometimes it's a situation like lack of money, and all of these things get us down, and they are shine blockers. And so I am using the energy of sound to penetrate the energetic formations in your body or in your energy that have created shine blockers. Okay, so I think I'm going to sum up right now. So this session is about removing blocks to abundance. Sound and the beautiful vibration of these pure sounds can and do, if we let them, help us release energy that is not helping us to shine, not helping us to thrive, blocking us from recognizing what our path is. So everybody has an enlightened path. At least that is what I know. And everybody has this enlightened path that will always be abundant, because abundance is a given. The only thing that is blocking our abundance is our lack of recognition of our enlightened path. And from the beginning of the session, I've been talking about why we don't recognize the enlightened path, and it's because we're afraid of the disruption, we're afraid of that it's weird or different, and we're afraid of people's response to this enlightened path. And so then from a very unconscious level, we create blocks to this path. And it may be a physical symptom, it may be a lack of money, it could be a number of things. And this is the things we do all the time in the Path to Heal sessions, to understand these blocks and release them. But the beautiful sound that we use today for most of the session has the ability to go in and penetrate that energetic energy that's keeping something that we no longer want in place, and it penetrates it and it can release it. So it is my hope that everybody who is watching this session immediately feels some benefit and has a few tools now that they can use to break up any fear that is getting in the way of walking our enlightened path. And if anyone would like to know what it feels like to have a Path to Heal session one-on-one, please feel free to get a hold of me, and please feel free to share this video. It will be on the Path to Heal page, I don't know how long, and then also on the Path to Heal website. So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day.